I think it's a historical thing. We've always been attracted to stories, and it goes back thousands of years when we're sitting around the campfire and as a family with your friends and your caveman buddies and chatting about stories, I suppose. So it's in our blood, I think. It's in our DNA.
Alison, thank you so much for joining me here at the Fleurieu Film Festival.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It is exciting. There's a big crowd and we can see them starting to come in.
Yeah.
Every year it's growing. How does that make you feel?
We're really excited for the filmmakers, that they have a venue, that sponsors come on board regularly, and that we're just going each year from strength to strength.
So what should people expect coming along to the festival?
I think they can expect to see some really young filmmakers who are going to go places, because we've got a new award, Inspirational Youth Filmmaker Under 24. One of the young films, which won't be screened tonight, that'll be at Yankalilla tomorrow night, is only 14 and made it on a phone.
Thank you so much for your time, Alison. Go and enjoy.
Thank you
well
so
done.
much.
Here we are at the Fleurieu Film Festival with Lyndall. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
It's pretty hot.
A little bit warmer than last year. Last year's was a little bit cold, but I think it'll be really good because it'll mean more people will be here and they'll be wanting to stay, and 600 odd people.
It's good.
It's amazing.
And you're going to get up there and MC tonight's event.
I am. I'm a little bit nervous because this is the first time we've had like 600, because the first year was 200, the second year was 350. So amazing to be able to get to these numbers this year.
So each year it's growing, and more and more people submitting films.
Yeah.
And in the industry we're just seeing, in marketing and communication, more and more video content. Why do you think that is?
I think it's a really good way to tell stories, and having that interaction. You can read a written word, but if you see the emotion on the screen, that's like a whole nother level, and they're the sort of stories I love telling, is ones that mean something to someone. You can shoot a pretty picture, but if you don't have a story, then you're not going to sell it.
No.
So,
And what will people expect coming along to the festival?
Like a really fun night, like really good vibes. We've got bands this year, which is amazing. We've got a lot more food vans, which I think is a really cool thing, because you're not just reliant on one type of food. If you love Mexican, if you love whatever, we've got plenty of other stuff, and it's just a really good fun night.
Yeah. And how important do you think is it for up and coming filmmakers to have this opportunity to showcase their work?
Well, the reason I got on board was because we didn't have an outlet. Like South Australia, we didn't really have that big outlet where we could showcase our works. And it's all well and good putting it on YouTube, but to actually have something like this is it's a pretty special event. So, yeah.
And how important is it, do you think, for the filmmakers to be here and see an audience reacting to their content?
Do you know what? I love watching someone else watch some of my work and seeing what when they smile, they laugh and they cry, and then you feel like you've actually done something right. You actually have engaged with them, and I think for a filmmaker, why wouldn't you want to be somewhere like this?
Oh, fantastic. I think that's a great way to finish. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
David, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So you have a long history with the Fleurieu Film Festival. Well, long in its short history.
That's true, yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So the first one was at Penny's Hill Winery, which is actually my family's business. So that was a cool event. It was the first one that I kicked off and did really well. And last year I was a judge on the panel as well, so I got to see all the films and judge them before everyone got to see them. So it was really cool.
This year is slightly different because you've got a film.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your film.
So the film Healy is basically, my dad has this story about his Austin Healy 100S, which is a very rare car. He saw the car when he was 10 years old in Wollonga, so not far from here, and he fell in love with it, and after years of looking for it, he was able to buy it 43 years later, and he's still got the car now. So
why is it that you think film is such a powerful vehicle for telling stories?
I think it's a historical thing. We've always been attracted to stories, and it goes back thousands of years when we're sitting around the campfire and as a family with your friends and your caveman buddies and chatting about stories, I suppose. So it's in our blood, I think. It's in our DNA to be into them, yeah.
And so, for you, what's the passion behind, because there's a lot of work, You know,
There
a lot
is.
of equipment, a lot of time,
There
a lot of
is.
money.
Yeah.
You know, what is it that personally drives you?
I'm kind of a technical guy, so I love the whole process of the photography and the lensing and the editing and working with that. And you get a real buzz out of it when you finish something, and you kind of, when you finish an edit and you go back the next day and look at it, and it kind of, sometimes it surprises me what you can do with the medium, and I suppose it's addictive. You get addicted to it somehow. So
What do you think is important about having a film festival, bringing it to McLaren Vale, having it in this area? Obviously you're local, your family history is here. What does that do for the community and then also for the people that come?
I think this festival is really important in the way that many film festivals are extremely hard to get into. They're, you know, the big ones are impossible to crack for people who are starting out. So a festival like this is perfect for people who want to make a short film, something that doesn't necessarily cost a lot of money. There's a lot of locations locally, beautiful spots to film at, that kind of thing. So in that respect, I think it's important for people starting out in the industry. It's very accessible. They can make something fit with the subject and get it in here and get it in front of, you know, a few hundred people who wants to see it, and that's a real buzz for someone who's starting out, I think. And for the locals, they get to see some films that are made in the area, so that's cool.
Well, and I mean, and look at this setting. It's a glorious night. The
It's
heat's
perfect,
just topping out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really good.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm here with Mark and Kelly, and they're going to tell us a bit about why they're so excited to be at the festival.
Well, it's great weather, amazing atmosphere, good food and wine, and the films should be awesome as well.
Right. What about you, Mark?
I was here last year and had a really good time, and some friends of mine have set this up, and last year there were lots of ducks and geese, and now there's ducks and geese and a floating dragon in the thing. And this is where you would cut away to the dragon. I like short films especially. It gives me ideas about short films I can make myself, and I'm always on the hunt for what people are looking for short film wise, so I can make something that's catered to my audience.
Right. And so what's your top tip for enjoying a film festival?
At a winery, have a couple of wines.
Well, Chris, it's exciting to be joining you here at the Fleurieu Film Festival.
I know, it's very exciting. I'm not usually on this side of the camera.
I know. So tell me, you know, you're normally behind the lens. What else are you doing for the Fleurieu Film Festival? How do you get to this point?
Okay, well, throughout the year, I'm the curator and artist, filmmaker, liaison person. So I collect the films, make sure everyone's ready to go, and then I send the films to the judges. And then on a night like tonight, I'm doing a bit of filming, and also I'm the technical director. So when the films start rolling, I'm meant to be in the special tent.
So obviously film is a passion of yours.
Yeah.
You live, breathe, work, eat, film.
Yes. Thank
Why?
you.
Why?
Well, I mean, when I was young, probably like 8 or 9, I got given a stills camera that could sequence still shots into animations, and I used to play with my toys and all that sort of business. And then I used to get hand-me-downs from my uncle, who was a director in Sydney at the time, and he used to give me like the prosumer level cameras, and I used to make little films with my friends at school. And then it developed into more of a passion, and then I took it to MAPS Film School, which is a local film school in Adelaide, and sort of nurtured my talent through practical filmmaking. And so I met Alison, who's the director of the film festival, through the film school also. And then one day, 3 years ago, she came up to me and said, "I'm thinking of making a film festival. Do you want to help me out?" And I said, "Yeah."
Sure. And did you know how much work then it was going to be?
No.
And why is it so important that a film festival like this does happen?
Great. So in the region, it's really good because people I don't think there's any other film festivals in the Fleurieu region. Also the value add of wine, food, lots of people around, you know, we've got some local pollies, and then the filmmakers can mingle with the audience if they wish to do so as well. It's really good for the area so that it sort of nurtures that culture of filmmaking, because the Fleurieu is really picturesque. It goes from desert landscapes to forest landscapes to coastal landscapes in 20-minute drive. You could make a film set on Mars and a film set on some fictional weird jungle planet in the space of 2 days, you know?
Yeah.
It's great.
And for new filmmakers, Like, what does it feel like to, produce a film and get it shown in front of an audience? I think they're expecting 600 people tonight.
We started out as having a film festival that could nurture young, up-and-coming filmmakers, because short films they shouldn't have, but they became elitist in Trop Fest sort of fields, and we wanted to have something that was locally Adelaide and could accept and sort of show off the best that Adelaide and the Fleurieu's got to offer in filmmaking talent, and there's a lot in there that normally wouldn't have gotten showcased on a national level.
So what advice would you give to an up-and-coming filmmaker or someone who's interested in making films, about how to create a film for a festival like this?
People seem to respond really well on screen to films that involve children. It's a bit of an unusual one that I don't think I've heard people talk about it before, but sort of showing the desires of a character on screen is like how to create drama. One character wants one thing and the other character wants another, and they cross over and they can't come to an agreement, so there's drama. But with a child, an audience like this tonight can extrapolate within a short film period of time, like 2 to 8 minutes. You can kind of imagine what a kid would want. But if it was a middle-aged man or an old man, you've got to explain a bit more visually about who they are and what they've been through in life.
That's really cool. So it's the simplistic innocence of a child.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's some good insider advice. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Good to be here with you, Sam, at Fleurieu Film Festival. This is your first time entering?
Yeah, it is. So I was at MAPS this year, actually, and the theme of fire came up and I knew that I wanted to make a piece for it, so yeah.
Yeah, great. So first time entry and straight to a finalist. How does that feel?
Oh, amazing. Me and my crew were both all just shocked that we got in. It's a huge honour, and lovely to meet all the wonderful people here at Fleurieu.
Great. So tell me a little bit about your film.
Yeah. Okay, so it was originally, I come from a country town called Port Lincoln, South Australia, and a lot of they actually have a drug problem there. And so the film kind of came from the inspiration of kids in drug cycles, and I wanted to show a really horrific example of that through, dark times and good acting, and just see if it could, show kids that that's not the path. And yeah, so for me it was like, you just got to show the awful side of it, and that's the reality and truth of it.
What is it about film? So you've gone to MAPS, so obviously it's a medium that really appeals to you.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, look at the face, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been making films for ages, so maybe 2012. I'm only 19 at this stage, and it's just a passion that's caught on to me and never let go. You live and breathe every second for it, and to be in an environment like that where you making films full time is such a blessing. So yeah, to be in this place right here is amazing, and I'd just love to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's sensational. So, and what was the experience like going through the process of submitting your first film?
Incredibly difficult because of the scale we'd actually planned to do it at. With that much planning, and that doesn't usually go on at MAPS, so we all pushed super hard. So yeah, it was an awesome feeling to get into the festival.
Yeah, great. And how important do you think it is to, you've just come through, recent graduate, how important it is to participate in this sort of stuff?
Oh, hugely to us. Just for us to even be recognised on a scale that we just wouldn't even believe back in the day. So, to see ourselves up here with all these talented people is just absolutely incredible, and yeah, just enjoying the opportunity.
Yeah, great. And so what is your expectation for the night? What are you hoping to get out of it?
I'm glad I got here, to be honest. Yeah, I just absolutely happy to be here, to be honest. Just stoked, and want to meet all the people here, see if we can work together one day, because I know all the talented people that are here, and it's a true honour, honestly.
Yeah. And so what next for you? Where do you hope film will take you?
For me, the main goal is to be a feature director at the end of my career, but in the meantime it's all about, for me, learning and building that network to the point where I can get to that goal. And look, that process for me has been absolutely so much fun along the way, and I can't wait to do it. Yeah,
and video has become such a major part of mainstream communication now, across devices, on the social platforms. We're seeing so much more video content. Why is it that you think that we're seeing more of that?
Look, it's for me the online community about building and creating, and you see all these people that you love and admire grow up with it. And it's so easy nowadays at the touch of a button to learn the skill set of filmmaking, which it hadn't been in the past. So the tools are all there for us. People can make films on their phone nowadays. It's absolutely amazing. And I think that it's a medium that's really going to take over the world eventually. So it's beautiful to see it start to happen now while I'm starting filmmaking.
Yeah, just right at the right time.
Absolutely.
And so you said you started 2012 making films. Like, how are you doing that? How did you start?
I got a GoPro for Christmas actually, and I was just making like travel-ish kind of videos where I'd hang out with my friends, and I just fell in love with the process, and then eventually got into the cinema and the craft, and it's never stopped, and I just want to continue doing that. So yeah.
And so yourself, do you distribute your content through any channels?
No. See, I'm actually conscious about that. That's my least favourite bit, actually. So this is going to be very nerve-wracking tonight because people are going to watch my film. But yeah, no.
I suppose that's the purpose. You make the film for people to watch it, or not necessarily?
It's because we love it. That's for me. But that's part of my career. I think I've got to get used to next. But yeah, for people to see it now and see the reaction, it will be awesome. Just the scale. I love that it's going on in SA. That's
fantastic.
very important.
Great. Well, good luck, Sam, and thanks for chatting.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Great.